Well, for the past 2 weeks, the Where's Kate debate has dominated headlines. Now the Princess of Wales is planning her comeback, expected to open up on her secret surgery next month.
But has this scandal caused permanent damage to the princess? And can the royals even be trusted? We asked Aussies what they think.
It made me feel sorry for Kate because I suspect that she had nothing to do with it, and it's probably palace mechanisms. I just think that they're an odd existence for England, and that works, but for the rest of us, they're here nor there.
You've just got to realise that people have their ups and downs and basically let them get on with it.
Yeah, it's the story everyone's talking about. So to discuss, royal editor of the Sunday Times, Roy Anika, joins us live in London, and PR expert in crisis communication, Molly McPherson's in Boston. Roy, to you first. Now, you've spoken with sources close to Kate. Can you update us on how she's coping with all this controversy?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's not been easy for Kate or William or the whole royal family for the last few weeks. It's been very tough. But I think what I've been told is that she is absolutely trying to prioritise not only her recovery, but also her children. You know, the 3 children who are at school, is very difficult for them with all that's going on. George is at the age where, you know, he's 10 years old, social media and all of that. So I think it's been tough. I think they really hoped that, her request to respect her privacy medically at the beginning of the year would hold. And it did for a while, but the speculation has absolutely run rife in the last few weeks. So I think they found it really tough, but there are signs that she is on the mend, and the palace say that she is still expected to be out and about after the Easter break.
Roy, really good to have you on to try and sort through some of this stuff. I mean, I guess after that photo manipulation, it was kind of all bets are off from some sectors. But then the last couple of days, we've had these terrible comparisons with Princess Diana and the pressure she was under. I mean, all of this feeding a cycle of media that has a huge appetite for it. So seeking and finding the truth in it all is difficult.
Yeah, it is. And actually, you've hit the nail on the head there, Carl, because I know that that's one of the things, speaking to friends of William and Kate's this week, it's one of the things I think William is really struggling with is this feeling that, the way in which his mother was treated all those years ago and hounded by certain sections of the media. I think he feels that what he's seen his wife have to go through in the last few weeks in terms of speculation, mad social media speculation about her health. And, even the state of their marriage, which they're aware of it. They're aware of all that social media. I think he's finding it very hard that she's even having to think about, she's recovering from a huge operation, and she's having to think about putting a statement out about photoshopping a few details on a photograph. And I think that's, that's all at play as well.
Do you know what, Roy, though? What I want to see from him is I want him to stand up and shout from the rooftops, leave my wife alone. I don't know.
That's not really how William rolls, though, because, he knows that would make even more of a stir. But I think it was interesting seeing him at the awards. I went to this award ceremony last week with him, the Diana Awards, in a charity memory of his mother. And he talked about how the legacy of his mother was something that he and Catherine had focused on in their work. It's quite interesting hearing him talking about Catherine in that context. And then a lot of people the next day picked up on that. And, what happened to his mother, we don't want to see that happen to Kate in terms of the hounding by certain areas of the media. And I think that was almost sort of his way of going, just step back a bit.
But I think to Carl's point, I mean, obviously things need to be handled differently in this day and age. We're talking about an age where everyone is on social media. I mean, Molly, if I could bring you in, do you think the public's trust in the royals has been tainted? Do they need to do something to overhaul the way they speak to the public?
Yeah, the Kensington Palace and the royal family is now in unprecedented times. It's so different even from the days of Princess Diana because of social media. Simply put, what the public wants at this point to put all of the rumors to rest is they want to see some evidence of Princess Catherine. Now, certainly they understand, and I think as a whole, people understand that she has a right to privacy due to this medical condition. However, in the absence of any information about Catherine, and we see all this engineering happening behind the scenes, there is very little trust left, at least on this side of the ocean.
It is really interesting to pick up that perspective from America, from the US. Given Harry and Meghan are over there and they do demand a certain amount of attention, but William has tried also, I think, through a couple of visits to America. And the appetite of the American media now is almost insatiable. It took a while to get going, but now it's really at fever pitch. So does that need to be managed in America from what you're saying?
Oh, without a doubt. And Carl, you said it earlier, people just want to hear from someone. A media statement is not the same as a person coming out and saying something. Certainly, everyone understands that there is a health condition that is, bringing Catherine out of the light, Princess Catherine out of the light. However, no one knows what that medical condition is. There are so many unanswered questions that people at this point are starting to become suspicious. And when you get to that point in a crisis, it's very, very difficult to reel it back.
Roya, just to end with you, if we could, I mean, why don't we see William or Kate or someone come out and just try to quell this with a quick snap from the family, for example, or even come out a bit earlier than anticipated? How do you see these next few weeks playing out to try and silence, I guess, the critics and the speculation?
Well, as I wrote in my piece today for Sunday Times, which has been widely followed, I've seen around the world, Kate and William are planning to be more open about it in the coming weeks when she comes back to public duties. And she is expected to and thinking about talking about her recovery. But it's been very, very clear to me that will happen at a time that she feels ready to do that. And we expect to see them after the kids' Easter break. So it's not to say that they won't be more open, but I think they want to do it on their timeline. Really
good to talk to you, you two. Roya and Molly, appreciate your time. All the very best. Thank you.
Hey there, Today fans. Sarah and...
What's my name again?
Oh, my goodness. Carl.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel, though. Subscribe now for more news, special reports and amazing Aussie stories.
And Carl misbehaving,
Whoa,
of course.
That never happens.
Always happens.
What's she talking about?